This is only the second time I've done one of these with you.
What?
It is.
Well,
Every
lucky
time
you.
it was with Anna.
4th time with Myriad.
Hi.
Here with
Marta.
and Coach Jared. And Marta just shared with me this is only the second time she's ever done this with me. Which
Yeah, with you. I did it with Anna a lot.
Okay. Well, then let's crush this.
We will.
And let's have fun with it.
Okay.
So the other day, I was having coffee with one of our members, and we were just talking about a couple neighbors who are looking for a new fitness journey. And then as I started talking more with this member, the individual said, like, actually, how do people get started at Myriad? How do people get into CrossFit? Or we were specifically talking about Level Method because that's the hype right now is Level Method because it's been awesome. They're like, how do they get into classes? Like, what is the process? And it was a light bulb moment for me, because I'm just like, wow, if you've been with us for 12 years, 11 years, 10 years, and you don't know that, then...
Who else?
Exactly.
Doesn't know.
So that's where we are at. I'll let you take this one, but like, how do you get started with Myriad? Specifically speaking for this episode, CrossFit, the Level Method. How do you get started?
There's a lot of different ways that you can get started, and it kind of depends on where you're coming from. So if you're a member with us and you have a friend who's trying to get started, a great thing to do is to invite them to come in with you and just to check out the space, and they can always speak to myself, Jared, or Robin, and that's great because you've already got that personal referral. However, that's not always accessible to everyone, and perhaps you're someone who's wanting to join us and doesn't already know someone in the community. So there's a couple different routes you can take. You can go to our website. There's a form in several places on our website that says free intro. Nice big red button there, and if you click that and fill it out, that sends us a notification that you want more information about us, and then you're going to get a friendly individual on the other end, most likely Robin, who will talk to you and kind of figure out what your fitness goals are and how to get you started with a free consultation and your foundations. Another great avenue is just to email info@myriadfit.com. You'll also probably get Robin on the other end, who's great to chat with, and Robin gives you all the details about foundations, which is
the big topic.
The big topic. Something you may or may not know that we do.
Correct.
Here at Myriad to get you started in CrossFit and the Level Method. So do you want to share a little bit about what foundations
Totally.
is?
So two things I want to clarify from what you kind of stated as well. One, when in doubt, always email info@myriadfit.com.
Yes.
You'll get an answer from somebody at our team, and we'll be directed to the person who's needs to answer that question for you.
It's a real human on the other end.
Whether you're a member or a non-member, if you're interested in anything, info@myriadfit.com. And also to clarify one of the other pieces, if you are a member and you have a friend, coworker, family member interested, email info@myriadfit.com or let one of us know in class, and let's have a conversation around that. We don't want you to necessarily bring them to a CrossFit class with you.
Yes.
Because there is a lot that has to happen before they jump into a CrossFit class, aka foundations. So just to clarify that, don't just bring a person with you randomly to a CrossFit class, because that creates disaster for us. Because there is a system, as everyone knows now, having gone through the assessments themselves. So what is foundations?
Yes.
Foundations is a one-on-one session. There's 4 of them, 4 one-on-one sessions with one of the coaches, myself, you, Robin, Richie, Steven, Blair. Don't want to continue naming every single coach that's out there, but all the coaches who are available for foundations can run foundations. And what we're doing there is we're taking every person through the 15 assessments that the Level Method offers in order for that person to get their color to then join classes in the regular CrossFit flow. I've been doing foundations for the last 5 or 6 weeks with different members, new members, prospective members coming through. And I have been saying that this is a game changer for our business and a game changer for our CrossFit program as a whole, because we are no longer kind of throwing out a fire hose of movements and a fire hose of information in 4 sessions. We are now the map has simplified what we need to do with athletes of all skill levels, and more so than anything else, the new foundation system has made CrossFit accessible to every single skill level. And I am truly bought into that and believe in that. Whereas I'll own this, but our previous foundation system may not have been accessible to all skill levels. And even though we've always said, like, you don't need to work out to join CrossFit, like, there was something to be said about that, whereas now with the level method, anyone can come through and be an athlete with us. And I'm super excited about that.
Well, and the new foundations is kind of like your baby. I know you've worked really hard on like getting it set up, and I think big difference between the way we're doing foundations now and the way we did before. For anyone who started CrossFit out there for the first time, sometimes you learn all of those movements initially, and it's like, and then you get into your first CrossFit class, and maybe you don't do a clean until like 4 weeks in, and you're like, what was that again? Yeah. So I think, you know, what is different about the foundations now is that you start at a lower level, so you might not be jumping into the cleans right away, especially if you're new to CrossFit, right?
Totally. And so with the new level method, previous to this, it used to be like, here's a fire hose of information. Now you come to a class and there's one workout on the board, and then it would be like, scale as you see fit, depending on what skill level you are. Well, that's a lot of like agency and ownership to the athlete of trying to remember everything and being like, well, I don't remember my scales are. Whereas now when you go through foundations, when you come into class, it's gonna tell you what the movements you're doing for your level of workouts, whether you're white, yellow, what's next? Orange, blue, purple, brown, black, and then red. So whatever color you are as you go through, it tells you. So it's an individualized program for you, but in a group setting. Yes. And I think that's a game changer that I'm really, really excited about.
So Jared, what if I want to start CrossFit at Myriad, but I've done CrossFit before for many years, but I've never done level method? Does this make the foundations any different?
Two options there. One, if you're currently CrossFitting and you're very like into it, like you are, like have literally, we're just moved here, we're CrossFitting in another gym, and then you're coming to us, and you know what your scores are relative for your assessments, we can work with you on that. Another option there, meaning like we can like just kind of gauge what color you're going to be until we go through the assessment period. Another option there is doing like a accelerated assessment period where you like buy 1 or 2 personal training sessions to get your assessments in a little bit accelerated, and then we get you into the system so we know what your color is. Or you just go through the foundation system. My recommendation is everyone does the full foundation system because there's more to it than just the 15 assessments. There's, you know, downloading some of the technology, the Chalk It Pro app we use, downloading Pike 13, which is our scheduling app we use, learning about our community and the flow of the community, learning about the other norms and guidelines that we have here within our space. Like something as simple as like learning how to park, learning where to put your stuff. Like all of that is gone. We go through that in foundations. We do pointing an in-body. We do an in-body scan during foundations as well. So like the full suite of foundations is going to be a 90-day journey for somebody. So not only is it 4 sessions, one-on-one, we then you take class with that coach on your 5th session as well. So like there's technically 5 sessions for foundations. The 5th one, the coach is taking a class with you because we learned over time that if we just throw somebody into a CrossFit class, they can get lost, right? And so like with a coach taking class with you, they can now introduce you to community, call you out. It's a powerful moment when other people know that it's your first CrossFit class. It's a big deal. That's a huge milestone for people. And then from there, at days 30, 60, 90, we have a goal check-in with your coach. You're doing another in-body with your coach at days 30, at day 60, at day 90. So now we're tracking your progress. That coach is also keeping track week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, after your 5th session, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, all the way up to week 12 of how many classes are you coming in and taking. So now there's accountability from that coach from your foundations as well. So this package is $349 for foundations, but it's more than just the 4 one-on-ones plus the group, the 5th class. It's all of that within a 90-day period, and that's what pumps me up is like, that's the stickiness. That's where people are going to be a part of this community. That's where we're going to build relationships with those watching this right now. I'm pumped.
I love all of that because I'm thinking about the things that normally keep people from starting anything new. And it's like, first, it's the unknowns. Yeah. So having someone who walks you through all of the norms in a space, like you said, parking. I always think whenever I have to go to a new restaurant or something, I'm like, do they have a parking lot? Where is the entrance?
I try to Google them and be like, do they have tell me where I'm supposed to be parking?
Those things give me a lot of anxiety and sometimes keep me from going, or like the accountability is huge because I think a lot of people just have a hard time getting started in their habit, but also having a buddy already set in place, which is kind of what the system does. Is
it's a buddy
now
system.
you've worked with someone for 90 days, you should know them pretty well, and you don't have to walk in and be like, I don't know anybody in that space.
Yeah, your foundations coach becomes your ambassador to Myriad, and then they eventually, over 90 days, kind of pass you off to the community. And within 90 days, I can't make this 100% guarantee, but I'm pretty certain you're going to make friends within the classes, and then those individuals become your ambassadors throughout and friends within the community, in your fitness community. So that's really, really cool.
So nice.
I know, it's like we've thought about this before. Last thing, I know it beeped on us. Who is Foundations for? Just in general.
Great question. Foundations is honestly for anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone can go through Foundations, from the beginner to the person who's done CrossFit for a year or two to someone who's been doing it for years. Like Jared said before, it's not a bad idea for anyone to go through it. But if you're new to Myriad, we strongly recommend it because it's just going to set you up on the best path to success so that you can be here for the long term.
And I have some anecdotal evidence on this, and I'm thoroughly enjoying working with individuals who, I don't know how to say this politely, but like maybe don't believe in themselves that they can do this. And I've worked through a couple different potential clients, prospective clients who are now moving forward with us into CrossFit classes because they've gone through Foundations with me. And it's been absolutely energizing for me to watch them do things they didn't think they can do. And now they have the confidence to walk into class because they know, oh, like I did this during Foundations. I know I can do the same exact level of stuff during CrossFit class as well. So it's been super, super cool. So
awesome.
if that's you out there, please, info@myriadfit.com. Let's get you in here and let's get your journey started.
Yeah. Awesome.
For time, done.
Woo!